Marvel Rivals is insane. Can I just say, wow, I was not expecting this game to get so popular. Not that I'm upset, but when I was playing the beta, the hype was totally there, but 20 million players in a week is, wow, that's insanity. Now I know a lot of people have been attracted to this game for various reasons. The characters, the gameplay, the art style, it's all phenomenal. But one of the biggest draws for me, personally, is the lore. Marvel comics are rich with history and fresh stories, but somehow the MCU just can't seem to capitalize on that pre-existing treasure trove. They've become way too reliant on the novelty of a shared cinematic universe, rather than quality writing and interesting adaptations. With this diverse cast of characters, it might seem daunting for Rivals to bring them all together into a cohesive narrative. And that's ignoring the fact that they exist across universes, and the potential to butcher the story into more multiverse slop. How can you put together iconic characters like Iron Man, who have decades worth of long-running stories, and fit in less-known newcomers like Luna Snow, for example? The character voice lines in the game are representative that the developers do know how to write these fan-favorite characters, and establish the lesser-known ones with good dialogue.
Tony Stark! I'm totally fangirling.
Oh, same here. We can swap autographs after the fight.
Swap? You should just be asking for mine. When's the last time you sold out Stark Arena, Gramps?
Alright, K-pop, let's go save the world.
Combine this with the lore that we can view in each character's profile, and you already have the perfect setup for some sort of short cinematic videos in the game. These stories pull from different Marvel comics and combine them into one epic narrative that can make playing the game feel so much more exciting. In my opinion, video games are such amazing mediums of entertainment because you can become a part of the narrative, immerse yourself in it, and even have active control over what happens. And I think the developers know that. Before each match, you can read bits of lore on the loading screen to give you context on why you are here and explain what your objective is. For the sake of comparison, in games like Overwatch, you play the objective just to win. There are no real stakes. In Marvel Rivals, your losses and victories have an impact on different parts of the story. In one of the maps, you are on Asgard, trying to stop Loki, who managed to steal the throne from Odin and wants to drain the world tree for its sap, for a master plan to reshape the realms in his own image. For the sake of brevity, I'm leaving out a lot of context these lore tabs give you, but trust me, they're very extensive and intriguing with interesting character conflict and situations. The best way for the Marvel Rivals team to capitalize on the vast amount of lore is by releasing story cinematics for each character. We can explore the different plot lines of each universe and see how they all come together into one overarching narrative. This would be a lot easier for Rivals than for other games, because every character has an already existing backstory, and the more well-known ones like Captain America or Spider-Man don't even need to be shown. Marvel Rivals can jump right into the story it wants to tell. Combine this with a beautiful art style, and any kind of story cinematic will attract legions of lore heads watching and analyzing every single video. I want to see Black Panther's cinematic the most. The Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda is such a cool story that I never finished, but regardless, I want to see how Rivals weaves it into the fight against Doom. It involves the Wakandan Pantheon and hints towards the symbiote corrupting Bast. I'm just really glad it includes a bunch of different elements from stories I'm familiar with, and puts them together into something fresh. I think following these lore tabs and making animated videos to flesh out the greater narrative is the best possible decision Rivals can make right now, especially with Season 1 rapidly approaching, where the story really seems to get started. Let's not forget each hero has only 1 out of 3 stories unlocked, and will likely get more as the game matures. As the story unfolds, I wouldn't be surprised if the new character stories are just about tackling future problems. The game has already set up Null as a future threat, and I wouldn't be surprised if Galactus or Thanos shows up down the line. This has the potential to breathe a new life into the game, because if you can get immersed in the story, you will care about something more than the gameplay. And I believe that Marvel Rivals needs to nail this in order to ensure its longevity. For the sake of comparison, Overwatch struggles to progress this narrative past the getting the band back together plot point. And while there are a number of reasons for that, I believe it's partially because they failed to properly set up future conflicts. They touched on this with the Null Sector PvE missions, but those were unfortunately cancelled, abandoning the game's story in limbo, leaving Overwatch stagnant and devoid of any soul that it had previously. Honestly, Marvel Rivals has so much storytelling potential, and I don't want to see it take the same route as other free-to-play multiplayers. I love these characters, and it would be a shame for such interesting variants to be wasted, especially with how we see them interact. For example, I barely knew anything about Cloak and Dagger before Marvel Rivals, but when I saw their character interactions and I started to learn more about their personalities and beliefs, I began to care about them. I think they're really cool and they're becoming one of my favorite street tier heroes. I know I want to see them in more projects. Hell, I might even watch their TV show. If they play their cards right, Marvel can do that for every single character on the roster. They've done it with characters like Iron Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy for the MCU, so I know they can do it again in Rivals. I've been having a blast with Marvel Rivals, and while I'm not sure what direction I want to take my channel in, I'm really glad to make more content about this game. It just clicks with me, I guess, but thanks for watching, have a good day, like and subscribe. Bye bye.